Yo, this Moco Smooth here. Flatbed truck driver running with Western Express. Former oil field worker driving the oil field before I came into the over the road with a mega courier. You know, I've been watching a lot of folks on their YouTube, you know, disgruntled, some happy, some pleased, you know, how they feel about Western Express, how they running. I'm just here, you know, give y'all a different perspective, let y'all know, you know, one thing about coming into this trucking business, yeah, you could have had your CDL, you could just got your CDL. Everybody's pay grade ain't gonna be the same based upon experience. So if you ain't saying nothing right in the beginning, that means you gotta put your work in. It's a sacrifice, something you just gotta get down with. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be used to being out on that road. You gotta be that road monster. You know, folks talking about how they run. Well, you just gotta run. You gotta burn that whole clock. You gotta know how to use that clock. And see, for me, it was a little different because coming from the oil field and how we used to run in the oil field, our DOT regulations and the clock is kind of different, you know. You know, we had some stuff that was quite different, like on duty, not driving, sitting at an oil, you know, sitting on a rig or something like that. You know, we can actually stop our clock, reset, and still get paid. We was getting paid by the hour, not by the mile. So it was a different type. You know, we'll run about 200-300 miles tops. And, you know, that's all it basically took. And then we might sit out on the rig for a few days, sometimes longer, a week or whatnot, and got paid for it. So the money was different, a lot better. But now I said, you know, since the oil field in my area was slowing down, I said, let me jump on this, you know, mega carrier, get with some of that non-touch freight, you know, no-touch freight. But I said, you know, I don't want to do just not do nothing, you know. Yeah, at first I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bump some docks, get it like that. But then I was like, you know, flatbed pay better, and it's minimum work to me, in my opinion. Everybody, the way they work, their work ethic or what they like to do, you know, is different. You know, I guess everybody different. It's a known fact. Me personally, I like to work, so I could drive and work, because that's what I'm accustomed to. So running my straps, chains, whatever, securing my load, you know, it don't bother me none. Rolling up tops, tarping my load, you know, just something that I don't mind doing. Not saying I like to do it, but I don't mind doing it. You know, right now I'm sitting in a hotel up in Indiana. My truck stopped running. I went to sleep. I was back in the sleeping. Truck stopped running. I guess my inverter sucked my battery juice down to nothing. Couldn't start it. Got on the horn with Western Express like, yo, send somebody out here start this bitch up. They was like, when you running again? I said, Monday. They like, nah, you gonna have to hit us up Monday to start your trucks. Now, that's a Saturday. So I'm like, what's next? They said, we're gonna put you in a room. So they, you know, didn't take them long, them folks, they got to it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't delayed. You know, dude was cool over the phone and everything, man. Got me a room, even got me couldn't get an Uber. We didn't have no Ubers available, but he went and searched, found me a cab, a chauffeur cab. Slim was there in no time. Packed my shit, and I've been in a hotel since. Now, I'm just waiting till tomorrow morning. My load, I'm like only, my truck is like 4 miles away from the receipt, co-signing. So, I want to be there top of the morning at 7. So I'm gonna leave this joint. I'm gonna try to leave here about 5 in the morning, and I'm gonna go ahead and send in my maintenance report so they can send a love to come and jump. And then I'm gonna roll. You know, that'll give me, if I leave here at 5, go ahead and do my maintenance, y'all. That'll give me ample amount of time, give Love's ample amount of time, give Western Express an ample amount of time. Go ahead and get somebody dispatch sent to me to get my truck started and running. No problem. So at first, you know, my introduction in the Western Express was filled with a few pipe dreams that I thought was going to be immediately answered as far as the pay. You know, $1,200 to $1,500 every week once I get my own truck. Alright, so I didn't do my full homework, I just went with it, you know what I'm saying? They told me, we want to keep you running. Not a problem. Didn't think much of it, so I started seeing them checks. They was looking kind of light. It wasn't looking like what I was promised, so I started asking some questions, which I should have did in the first place. But once I asked the questions, it made sense. You know what I mean? You gotta be a rational thinker about this. One thing that I didn't like with Western Express in the beginning is that my oil field driving didn't count for the over-the-road driving. So that kind of threw me back as far as being with a trainer for 240. I was supposed to be with him for like 240 hours. And that shit felt like forever. Because we be banging. I come out the gate, I'm busting 600 miles a day, running with him. Showing, man, I know how to run this shit. This is what I do. I don't mind driving. Get my music, if I'm going to talk, I'm going to rap on the phone with some of my other buddies and stuff and shit, and I'm just going to run. So, I end up getting the odds reduced down to like 150 or something like that, because I'm running. And I'm like, yo, let's get up out this, I'm trying to get out this truck, I gotta do my own thing. So finally they went ahead and went with it, sent me a load, I've been running ever since.
I love that.
So when I figured out the checks wasn't coming like they were supposed to come, even though I was getting paid every week, getting paperwork, all that shit down packed, never late on a load, none of that shit. And even if I was running a tad bit late, I call whoever it is, like, yo, this situation, I'm on my way. And you had somebody wait back on me. And I haven't had a problem with that yet. And it only happened a couple times. It was like, all right, bet. It's communication. And I can't say my DM fucked up, because my DM, he communicate with me. He don't duck my calls. He respond back to me. You know what I mean? And that's I appreciate that. Communication's everything. So I'm hearing some folks talking about they ain't really hearing from the DMs or the dispatch or whatever, and they just feeling like nobody giving a fuck. So I'm not saying that they do in totality, but I just haven't had that issue. So it's just like I get a raise, you know what I'm saying? The way they set it up, I get a raise. I got my raise coming, so once I get my raise, I'm due to my raise now. So my raise and my miles will equate to what I was promised through the recruiter. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he did tell me, maybe I wasn't paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I wasn't paying attention totally. I was just kind of hearing numbers and not thinking much of it. So it's a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? It's a journey. I fuck with West Express. They gave me a shot at the title. I was in some other oil field CDL positions, and I guess their requirements was a little different from this other stuff. I don't know. It's just a lot of things, that I still have to analyze and pick through to make sure, what I know is what I know, and not in theory. But the whole thing about it is when you just jumping into this thing, man, and you ain't really got no experience, see the low ball. You're gonna see a low ball, but that's just your foot in the door. And you just gotta make that sacrifice for a minute until you get your experience. And like most people, they have acknowledged 6 months to a year, you Gucci. You Gucci. You really writing your own ticket. You know what I'm saying? Just gotta be smart with your money. No complaints. But that's just me, It's gonna be my first video, but many more to come. Moko Smooth, check me out.